Wayne, because you were my first student and because we added a round of 9 holes before we had our lesson, I decided instead of doing a standard video of a 1 hour lesson, I would do my total assessment video, which is part of the on-target score improvement system. This includes an analysis of your scoring profile, your swing profile, and provides you a score improvement plan. Wayne, my only goal for my students is to help them shoot lower scores. Every golfer's score is not just a product of swing flaws, but a variety of things. The decisions they make regarding hole strategy and shot strategy, club selection, what clubs they choose to play, the shaft specs, and the clubhead design they choose to play. And finally, their swing fundamentals for driving, approach shots, chip and pitch shots, and putting. I begin with the obvious. In order to lower your score, I have to first identify the part of your game contributing the most to your high scores. The first thing we did before our lesson was to play 9 holes. This gave me a chance to establish your scoring profile based on your shot statistics. These statistics are just from one round, and statistics from more rounds would be even better. But based on my observations, this round is probably a close representation of your current game and swing.
That's just hard. Hit that hole. All right. Well, who's giving who a lesson? Very nice. Oh. Oh boy, is that ground. That is hard. That wasn't too bad though. Run, you turkey. What are you doing going out with? Oh. I didn't have to do that, but I did. Yeah. Ah. It's not bad for these greens. There you go. You'll like that one a lot.
First, let's look at your driving statistics. For driving, we need to evaluate accuracy and distance. For accuracy, for the 5 holes that were not par 3s, you hit 2 fairways, which is 40%. Because this course has very narrow fairways, this statistic is not that bad, and even on this round, when you did miss the fairway, you didn't miss by much. Also during this round, you had no penalty strokes because of your tee shot. Though I suspect for many of your rounds, your tee shots do result in some penalty strokes. For distance, your average distance remaining to the green after the tee shot was around 125 yards. The purpose of distance is to hit it far enough to give yourself a reasonable chance to reach the green with your next shot. Your current distance is good enough. One of the first questions every golfer should ask is, do I need to hit my best drive better or just hit my best drive more often? It is clear to me that your current swing produces enough clubhead speed to hit your tee shots far enough to score well. You need to focus more on improving your consistency and not on trying to increase your power. You even mentioned to me that your scores don't change that much when you play the blue tees or the white tees. That is an indication that increasing your distance off the tee doesn't affect your score that much. Now let's look at your approach shot statistics. For the 9 holes, you hit only 1 green in regulation. Now this statistic includes approach shots from poor lies in the rough, which is why I prefer evaluating a player's approach shot skill by only looking at shots from good lies or tee shots on par 3s. You missed the green on all the par 3s you played during the round. On the 5 holes that were a par 4 or a par 5, your average strokes over par was only 1.2 strokes. On the par 3s, your average strokes over par was 2 strokes. This means you scored better on the holes that you had a tee shot than the holes that you did not. Your driving and approach shot statistics are a measurement of your full swing performance. And from this round, it is clear to me that focusing on improving your approach shot statistics will lower your score more than improving your driving statistics. Now let's look at your short game statistics. These are your chip and pitch shots, which are less than a full swing. The goal of a full swing approach shot is to hit anywhere on the green. For your short game shots, though, you don't want to just hit anywhere on the green. You want to hit it close enough to give yourself a chance to make the first putt. The average pro on tour will make 50% of their 9-foot putts. One of the short game statistics I track is what percentage of the time do you hit your chip or pitch shot on the green less than 3 yards from the hole. If you did this, you would give yourself at least a 50% chance of making your first putt. For the 8 short game shots you had during the 9 holes, you didn't hit any inside this zone. Also, you missed the green with your short game shot 38% of the time. Now let's look at your putting. To evaluate your putting performance skills, I want to know 2 things. How good is your speed control on long putts? And how often do you 3-putt? To evaluate speed control, I track the result of all your first putts that were longer than 18 feet from the hole. And how often did you stop those less than 3 feet from the hole after your first putt? During the round, you had 8 putts that were longer than 18 feet from the hole, and you hit 25% of them inside of 3 feet. Also during the round, you had 5 3-putts. The following is part of your score improvement plan. Now, the only proven way to improve is to set clear and measurable objective goals of the ball's performance. The goal is not to feel better about your swing or to have your swing look better. The goal is to change those measurable statistics that impact your score. For driving, I have listed 2 goals. One is to increase your current percentage of fairways hit from 40% to 50%. And the other is to increase the average distance of your worst 50% of drives by 10 yards. Now there's an easy way to track this second goal, but I will have to show you. Your goal for your approach shots is to hit 30% of the greens on par 3s. Your goal for your chip and pitch shots is to hit 25% inside of 3 yards from the hole. For putting, your goal is to reduce your 3-putts from 55% to 25%. When you follow the on-target score improvement plan, you don't want to work on too many things at once. I want my students to focus on only one full swing project and one short game project. For your full swing project, I want you to work towards improving your approach shot performance by hitting 25% of the greens on par 3s. For your short game project, I want you to work towards reducing your 3-putts from 55% to 25%. To lower one's score is a simple process of problem solving. The universal way to solve problems is to first identify the problem, then the cause, and finally implement the solution. We have selected 2 key problems from your scoring profile: approach shots and putting. Yes, there are other things also contributing to your high scores, but we're going to improve these areas first and can tackle those other areas later. Causes of your approach shot performance problems falls into three categories: game management, equipment management, and swing management. Under game management, we include club selection for the shot. I do believe that many times you miss the green because you select the wrong club for the shot. During the round, you only had one approach shot that was pin high to the hole, and that was on hole number 7. I recommend selecting one more club on many approach shots, especially when in the rough. Under equipment management, we're looking at whether or not the clubs you play with fit your swing. Most players do not have the perfect 14 clubs in their bag to help them shoot their lowest score. And if at any time in the future you consider upgrading any of your clubs, you will improve your scoring with a few club changes. And finally, there is swing management, which is what we focused on during our lesson. In fact, if you would, I want you to do one practice swing, not at the tee, but away from it. And then do the next swing at the tee. Okay, did that one hurt as much as the first one? Okay.
No, the first one smarter.
I want you to do some nice, easy swings. Right now I haven't changed anything. I hadn't told you to move differently. I'm just having you move at a tee instead of moving out a golf ball. I want you to just do some nice, easy swings and kind of see where that's catching your back. Swing about as easy as you're seeing me do it right now. So go and just get there and just start kind of just rocking back and forth and kind of see what your range of motion is right now.
And
when I use the word back and forth, if you look at my shadow of my head, it's not going back and forth. So I'm not doing this back and forth.
Okay.
But I
got you.
But I am rotating right, left, but it's around a center axis.
Right.
So I want your axis to be stable and rotate around it. So just do, but I don't want you to go full swing. I want you to do about 34% swing, about as fast as you see me swing.
Okay.
Just back and forth and just nice and easy. Make it nice and easy. Now, let me find out can you finish and be facing out to the green?
Okay. Let's see if I can
Swing
do
and pose to that finish if you can. Nice and easy, not a big swing. Okay, good.
Yeah, see how I fell off balance?
That's all right. We're going to work on that. Now that more I've seen your swing and know, one of the things that a lot of the pros did, and Trevino did this a lot, even Nicklaus did a lot. I think you're too square. I think you need to open up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. You need to pre-clear. You hear about clearing the left side during the golf swing?
Yeah.
I want you to pre-clear it.
Okay.
You're going to kind of get it out of the way before you start. That's going to make it easier for this right hip to get through without so much in there.
Okay.
So you're doing a Trevino setup. Hogan did this too. And that'll make it easy for that right hip to rotate through. And go to that nice finish.
That's easier.
Yeah. So open the hips. You're gonna have to consciously think about that for a month. But you can do it. Oh yeah, that right side's coming through much better.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes I will do that anyhow. I'll open it.
Right. Well, that's going to be absolutely part of your setup.
Okay.
It's not something you do every once in a while. This is your new set. This is the new Wayne swing. New
Okay.
Wayne setup. Your new open hips. It feels different. You set up with an open hip and just swing to that nice finish. Good. Good. I want you to finish looking at here. You have a tendency you want to keep this down too long
Okay.
and you get locked up.
Okay.
So I need you to swing into this finish.
Okay.
I want you to have a good finish. You're going to randomly hit good shots and randomly hit bad shots. But I don't want you to randomly finish.
Okay.
Swing nice and easy.
Yeah.
I don't care where the ball goes. Your mind's eye is swinging to this pose.
Okay.
I want you to swing to that pose for me. I don't care where the ball goes. Well, there'll be some other little changes I'll make, but right now I'm working on one thing, and that's swing to a pose. Swing to a pose. Swing to a pose and hold it. Good. So I'm going to put this basically right down the...
Good.
So right now you're playing the ball 2 or 3 inches inside this left heel.
Yeah.
Quite a few from that. That actually is a little bit better. You sometimes get your ball too far back in your stance for the wood.
Okay.
And that will cause you to block it right or hook it left. Be very inconsistent. Okay? It's all right. You're going to randomly hit good shots and bad shots, but we're working on one thing, and it's a form thing. It's your pose. Okay. I need you to, right now you have to actually talk to yourself, consciously talk to yourself. Swing to that pose, swing to that pose. After a while, it'll have to, your subconscious mind say, hey, I got it. Stop telling me to do it. I'm going to do it without you telling me to. Right now, you have to actually train your subconscious partner to swing to this pose. This is the first time today you swung to this pose. Swing to your pose. So every time you finish, look, you have this beautiful finish, and you're on your tip of your toe back here.
Yeah.
You haven't done that once today. Almost every swing today, you get up to the golf ball, you do a practice swing and come off your back foot.
Yeah.
You get up to the golf ball and go in reverse weight shift.
Okay.
And you fall backwards. You didn't use the same swing.
Okay.
You have one swing thought right now. The way you move your club around your body is fine. It's just you don't swing to this pose. Swing to the pose. Good ball. One of your better balls today. And the thing I love...
That's the best shot I've hit all day.
That looks good. That looks really good, Wayne. Form equals performance.
Right, man.
You get the form right, the performance will follow. So swing to your pose. Have a mental picture of that pose and swing to that pose. Hold your finish. Even when you hit a bad shot, there is value in reflecting on what you just felt.
Right.
And you want to be still with your mind and your body while you watch the ball and reflect on what you felt. Even the bad shots. You will then identify the little piece that was off and maybe make a subconscious correction, or you'll identify what you like well and help repeat it. This is a comparison of 2 of your swings. On the left is one of your swings on the course before we made any changes, and on the right is one of your swings after we made some changes. The first change we made is in your setup. After seeing you swing and experience pain twinges in your back, I suggested you were setting up too square to the target line and preferred you change your setup to be slightly open and let that left foot flare towards the target. This allowed you to pre-clear the left side and made it easier for you to get the right side through the ball with less pain. You also had a tendency to play the ball too far back in your stance, and it didn't match up to your club's natural squaring position. These swings are with the 3-wood, where we move the ball only slightly more to the left foot. With the driver, we move the ball significantly more to the left. When the ball is too far back in the stance, the subconscious mind is trying to stay behind the shot, and it creates a reverse weight shift and hangs back onto the back foot. This doesn't occur on your practice swing because there is not an object you are swinging at, and therefore you make your more natural and correct swing. And then the last thing we worked on was building a new finish for your golf swing. The open setup and the change in ball position were pre-swing changes. The finish is a swing change. I didn't change anything in how you swing. I only changed how you finish your current swing. First, let's look at how you finished your swing before we changed it. You'll see how you start falling backwards into that back foot. And you don't hold your finish or have any kind of a holding pose. The following are all the full swings you had on the course before we made any changes to your finish.
Oh.
Now let's look at your new swing with the new finish. Nice move to the left side. Good finish. Holding your pose, your back foot is on the tip of the toe. Your weight is solidly on your left leg. Very good. Very good finish. This compares your finish to some of the pros. This is Tiger's finish. Now the goal is not to look exactly like Tiger or any pro. The goal is to achieve their fundamental of finishing on the left side. This is Rory's finish. This is Ben Hogan's finish. Now let's look at several of your swings with your new finish. That's a great ball there. That's a great ball, Wayne. Wow, and the hits just keep on coming. Wayne, I'm extremely proud of you and the positive work you did during the session. Of the 3 changes we worked on, swinging to this pose is the most important. This fundamental is critical. In order to hit your full swing shots more consistently, your swing needs to be more consistent. Swing consistency begins with building a consistent setup and a consistent finish. You now have a new setup and a new finish. You don't own these positions right now, but you can do them right now. To own this new change means your body chooses this new finish without having to consciously remind yourself to do it. It is very important that you continue to work on swinging to this new finishing pose. Like with your old swing, you will still randomly hit good shots and bad shots, even with the new finish. But there's no question in my mind that you will begin to see more good, consistent shots. We worked on this fundamental with your 3-wood and driver, but this fundamental needs to be part of your full swings with your irons as well. Your score improvement plan selected working on improving your approach shots to the green, and especially your tee shots on par 3s. The next time we have a session, I want to work more on building this new finish into your iron swing. When any player begins rebuilding their swing, they will experience some frustration at times. You must be patient and trust that you are working on the right changes. After working on your full swing, we spend a short time looking at your putting stroke. Usually I create a separate short game video for my YouTube website, but since you don't have email, I'm putting this onto the same disk as your full swing report. First, let's look at some of the putts you had on the course. I know that making changes we worked on in your full swing will definitely contribute to you shooting lower scores, but I strongly believe that making changes in your putting stroke will improve your score even more. And with putting, the changes can be easier to make and the score improvement can come even quicker. Think of 3 putting as the same thing as hitting a tee shot in the water. It's a 1-stroke penalty. During the round, you 3-putted 5 times. That's the same as hitting into a lake 5 times with your tee shot. I suspect that was more 3-putts than you average, but I would guess you might average 3 times every 9 holes. That is 1 time every 3 holes. The pros 3-putt 1 time every 33 holes. Your tee shot game and approach shot game is much closer to the pros than your putting game. And I believe your putting game presents you with an opportunity to make a huge improvement in your scoring. Let's compare your putting stroke to Tiger Woods, who is considered by many to be the best putter in the world and maybe of all time. His putting fundamentals are the same as most pros, but he has truly perfected them. Tiger has the classic setup for the putting stroke. He has a reverse overlap grip. When we look at his position of his arms, his elbows are slightly tucked into his sides. His forearms and shaft form the letter Y. His stance is not too wide or too narrow, but just comfortably under his hips. As he takes the club back, it will stop about right there. As he continues forward and makes contact with the ball, his eyes are down. As the ball begins to take off, he keeps his eyes down as he continues to hit through the ball. Even after the ball leaves the screen, he still has his eyes down. His finish is now here. He still has his Y position of his arms. He did not cup the back of his left wrist. He has kept his eyes down, and then he will start to look after he's held that position for a moment or two. And while he's looking now, he still has kept his putter in the same finishing position. He has maintained his posture and his follow-through form even while he's looking. He hasn't lifted his spine or stood up. So he's putted, he's held his finish, and then he looks at the putt while still holding his finish. Now this is one of the putts that you had on the course, and let's look at your setup. Your setup is very similar to Tiger's. Your elbows are slightly tucked into your sides. You have that Y position in your forearms and shaft. That's very good. Your stance is not too wide or too narrow, but comfortably under you. As you take the club back, it goes to about here on your backswing. As you make contact with the ball, your eyes are down, but you start to turn your head and follow the ball immediately upon contact. As the ball rolls away, you watch the ball. And before the ball even stops rolling, you've already let go of your putter. You did not hold your finish. Let's look at that post follow-through position one more time. As you come through, you can see how this angle here, you do have a tendency to cup that wrist, and your follow-through is much shorter than your backswing. Your backswing was back here somewhere, so you have a long backswing and a very, very short follow-through, and that will create some problems with speed control. What you want to have is a shorter backswing and a longer follow-through. Here's another stroke you had on the course. And in this stroke, I'm going to show you how you have kind of a twisting motion through the ball. Watch the putter head, how quickly it twists and rotates over. You don't hold the blade of the putter square to the ball for any length of time at all. It's a very quick twisting action of the putter. And that's going to cause you to be very inconsistent with speed and direction. So you need to work on that stroke and make it a not so quite so handsy. You're very handsy with your putter, and you're not using your forearms to swing the putter through. Now this is mainly caused by your left hand stopping quickly at impact and cupping that wrist, and then your right hand twist over quickly. I have some drills that'll show you how to keep that left hand, the back of that left hand, moving towards the target so that it would finish well past your left leg. I want you to swing both hands past your left leg, and that'll help your stroke a great deal. So I need to show you those drills. You have a lot of solid putting fundamentals, but you're missing one that's critical. When you watch the pros putt, but particularly the best putters, you're going to see them putt, hold their finish before they look.
Okay.
And you have a tendency to recoil.
Okay.
So I want you to putt, hold, still while you're looking here, come to a complete stop with your stroke, hold your pose and your follow through, when you look. So when you look, you're going to be in this position. You're not looking, you're looking. But I don't want you to putt and jerk up. So it'll look something like this. Then look.
Okay.
Then look. Then look.
Okay.
Putt, hold, look. So you're going to hold the finish, the follow through before you turn to look. Don't recoil. Putt, hold, then look. That's what I want.
Okay.
Putt, hold, and then look. Hold. A little bit of a pop in it. You see how your club kind of went like that?
Yeah.
So you want to go through.
I just want to follow
let
through.
let it have a quiet finish.
Okay.
Hit through the ball with a quiet finish.
Okay. See, I'm trying to stop it here.
Yes. So you want to go through it a little bit longer follow through. But you're still doing better than you did the first round. Good.